Morning, all of you. Now, today we'll be starting off with the scanning, guys. We have discussed yesterday, but now we'll continue more in detail what is scanning and how scanning is going to work here. So, now, when we discuss about scanning, guys, scanning is a second attack which we are going to do now. We'll be discussing Suprita after this session. Okay. So whatever your queries are there, I'll take all the thing after the session. We'll continue now and then we'll continue. So now when we take an example, guys, that in today's session, we are going to discuss about scanners. So in our yesterday's discussion, we have discussed there are multiple type of scanners. So we have discussed one thing called as IP scanner. We have discussed port scanner, and then we will be talking about vulnerability scanner. In our yesterday's discussion, the main part was this, guys, IP scanner and port scanner. Now we'll be talking about the later on is what, guys, we'll be focusing on something called as your vulnerability scanner. So now when you take an example of port scanner, it is going to give you more details about a computer, guys. What are the doors open on a particular IP address? This is been taken care with the help of what, guys? Port scanner here. In our yesterday's discussion, guys, we have installed one application called as your super scan. Okay, I not install it. So here you can install on your D drive. You have scanning. You have something called as port scanner. And super scan is one of the application which you can install to work. It is already there. I'm installing it. Now in super scan, you need to give the IP address, guys. So suppose I give my IP address here 29.0. The whole network I am giving now. Yesterday I shown you to give one IP address of a single IP. But now today I'm going to give the IP address of a whole network here. I'll say list from the ports. I'll select the list here. I can say select all. I can save some file here. So now all these ports, it is going to check one by one on the destination IP. The first, it will check which IPs are online, and the second, it will be checking what port numbers are working in that case. When I take OK and I say start, guys. So here you can see here the list of IP addresses coming one by one, guys. You're getting many IP addresses one by one. Now here, currently I only have one victim machine, that is this one. These other are my Wi-Fi network, other computers, or maybe my mobile phones, my router. So it is showing you all those details. But first, it told what, guys? 5 computers are online. Now, when I check here, can you see, guys, in 29.1, you can see on the top, guys, on 29.1, it is showing you that 2 ports are working, guys. Can you see here? 80 and 443. So this is generally a router, a particular home router in which this particular ports are working. So here it is showing on the right hand side, 5 machines are online and 2 ports are open here. Slowly, it will go to all this machine one by one, guys. So you need to wait till it completes here because this is my main machine is this one, guys. So when it comes to that, you'll able to see what? You'll able to see that many ports are open. Once you find the ports are open, these are the doors using which you are going to connect in that case. So here you can see now the number of ports are increasing. So now I think somebody's mic is not mute, guys. Kindly make sure your mic is in mute. I think Mr. Moinuddin Sheikh, your mic is not mute. Yeah. Now, once you see here, it is increasing here. You have to see till it comes to the last computer. See, this computer is nothing but my another VM. That is my Windows Server VM, guys. I have one Windows Server VM. Generally, by default, obtain IP address automatically will be there. It will automatically take one IP address from your network. If it is not there, you can manually go there and assign it. So here, if you can go there, I can say my password is secure. You can check the computer here. You know how to assign the IP address on the computer the same way here. So I'll assign one IP address in the same network here. And this is also VMnet 0, guys. VMnet 0. This is also VMnet 0. It will be showing. Now, can you see here the number of ports have increased? And now, when you check here, you can see here there is one computer 2929 in which these are the three ports open. Now, you can make a note, guys, here on any computer. If you find 135, 139, and 445, this three port, guys, if you find this three port on any computer, guys, 100% it is a Windows PC, guys. It's a Windows computer. Because sometimes I've told you the first rule in security is what? We disable ping. So if you are not able to ping, you will not get TTL values. Then how you'll know that which machine it is, whether it is Linux or Windows. So this is another mechanism that when you do, if pinging is not working, when you do port scanning, and if you find out this any PC who has these three ports available, then it is a Windows computer, guys. The Windows computer, you will able to see that in that case. Next important thing, when you go further, you can see here 82. There is one computer called as 82 also. There are number of ports open, guys. You can see here, and it is showing web server. This machine is a web server also. You also have further when you go here another 200 machine. Here you can see it is FTP is also available, SMTP, POP3. So yesterday I've shown you manual clicking, guys. If you remember, I've shown you manual thing here. So I was talking about I was doing telnet particular IP address here manually. I was saying 200, I was taking 21. One by one I was doing. Now this time he has given all the information directly here. So this is a job of port scanner, guys. Port scanner will connect to each and every computer one by one and check for what, which port is open, which port has been closed in that. So now, when you work now, the next step, guys, the next step, what you need to work with is what? The most important one. The port is showing that these are the websites are working. Now, if you say there was one website called as 82, so I'll try to check on that 82 computer is saying HTTP is enabled. We'll see here. We'll see here. HTTP 200. This is the page available. 82 is there. You can see here. 82 also some pages available. So if I have many computers in my LAN here, so I'm checking whether HTTP, FTP, Telnet, SMTP, whatever services are available, I can try to connect and check it is working or not. Now, if the website is directly coming, it's not a problem. But if somebody asks username and password, I don't have it. I cannot log in that case. So now, the most important step of all of them till now we have done vulnerability scanner, guys. The most important step compared to all of them is what? Vulnerability scanner. Now, the job of this vulnerability scanner is what, guys? It will scan loopholes, bugs. So now, try to understand, guys. Vulnerabilities are nothing but the bugs which are available on your computer, guys. Using these bugs, somebody can connect to your computer and work, means get inside your computer also. Now, this bug, as we discussed in the earlier stage, it can be operating system bugs, it can be application bugs, it can be on the device, it can be a misconfiguration also. So here, what I'm going to show you guys here is one very simple thing. I'm going to install one vulnerability scanner. So I'm installing a scanner here. You have many scanners available. I'm going to take one of them, maybe Retina or Shadow. Both I'll show you, Retina and Shadow, because they are a little bit different. Retina is very older one, guys. Older scanner software. Now, in our case, now I'm going to only take a target only as one computer, guys. Means my 200 machine, the vulnerable server, which is what I'm going to target it. Real time, this is been referred as what, guys? You're going to do it for a public IP address. Here I'm going to use a private IP. You can see here there is a wizard available. I'm not running it. Now it is a trial version, 15-day trial version, guys. You can install on the VM. Now, advantage of using VM, guys. If you are using VM after 15 days, you delete this VM, extract the VM again, the zip file what I had given you. Again, extract it, and again you can use here. So here I'm giving my IP address, guys. 192.168.29.200. This is the IP address of my victim machine. The hacker will put a victim machine IP address and he clicks scans here. Now, this will do all the three things, guys. Vulnerability scanner will do all the three things. Means what? IP scanning, port scanning, and on top of it, vulnerability scanning. Can you see here in the background? It is showing you the port, guys. One by one, it is showing you all different ports. These are the same ports what we got it. This software will also do the same thing, guys. It's doing trace route. It is directly reachable. That's why it's showing 128 and trace route. If you are going over the internet, then it will show you the hops here. Router hops will be there. So you have to wait. Now, vulnerability means what? Bugs. It will try to find out different bugs. Now, for which you need to wait a longer time. Your vulnerability scanner is going to take more longer time compared to your what, guys? It will compare to your more compared to your port scanner and IP scanner because it's doing all the three jobs, guys. Real time scenario. Whenever somebody says vulnerability scanning, finding the bugs, we do this on every network, guys. I told you one example in the starting that when we go to real time scenario, they wanted to find out, they wanted to get a certificate. Now to give them the certificate, we need to find out the vulnerabilities and give it to them, guys. So to find out the vulnerabilities and they are hackable or not, we do this. Or sometimes it depends totally on the computer, guys. If the computer doesn't have any problems, it has been patched up properly, then it will be much faster, guys. Means it will be report will be much faster. But if your vulnerabilities, if there are more number of vulnerabilities available, guys, then it's going to take a longer time here. Sometimes when we do it, it takes 1 hour, 2 hours for a single IP also. Now, why? Because I'm using WAN, guys. Internet bandwidth will be slower. And on top of it, one thing will be checked. Every ports are checked. And for every port, here you can see here, it is checking all the port. And then it will start checking vulnerabilities of that computer. Real-time scenario. Without permission, you cannot do port scanning and vulnerability scanning, guys. Port scanning and vulnerability scanning, you should not do it without permission. Because when we come to the second module, you'll get to know what immediately alarms have been raised, guys. The alarms are raised that somebody is trying to breach your security, he's finding loophole. So immediately the alarm is raised that somebody is trying to hack your machine here. We are putting here. So now you can see now I got some big lists, guys. If you can see on the top, guys, I got a very big list here now. These are vulnerabilities on the machine, guys. These are the different vulnerabilities on the server. Now try to understand, guys. If I patched up everything on a computer, then hacking is not going to happen. Hacking will only happen when there is a loophole, there is a vulnerability, guys. Without vulnerability, it will not be possible. This is only a one IP address. This is a detail of a single IP. Mr. Dipchan, I'm not searching all the machines, guys. So it is searching all the ports on a single computer, not every computer. If you put a range here, it can search for all range, one computer, different vulnerabilities for every computer. So if you have a router, you have a computer, you have a mobile phone, it is going to check everything on individual computer, guys. So now you can see here. So first thing, this is my report, guys. So I am putting my magnifier on the top, guys. It will be easier that you can see here. When you see here, you can see on the top, the IP addresses are there. Now, before going to the vulnerability, I'll show you what are the other things. So it's saying total, it is found out 9 ports are open on this computer. What are the different ports here? So you can see here, FTP. When you check FTP, this is the same thing which we got it when we did telnet, guys. FTP, it was showing you like this, the message. HTTP. Now here comes a very important information, guys. When I select HTTP, guys, it's saying what now? C:\web folder. My website data is containing in a which path, guys? C:\web folder. This will help you. This will be helping the hacker to get inside the server. The location where are my web server files are located. Web server. C:\web. It is using IIS 5.0. This all details. Whatever ports are open or closed, you are able to see your detail here. Sometime it will show you what are the services running, guys. So these are the services running on the machine here. When I scroll further, $, $, $, different options you are able to see here. And it is also giving me user details. What are the users available? Guest user is available. Older time guest user was available. Guest user means what? Using this user, I can directly log in onto my computer. It is possible. So now, when I do this, the most important part is your audit, guys. This one. This is the main part on the vulnerability scanner. Here, if you can see here, administrator password does not expire. This is a vulnerability. Means hacker can exploit this particular part. Means I'm not changing my password. My password is fixed all the time. So if hacker try to do a guesswork when we discuss password hacking, maybe day after tomorrow, when we discuss password hacking, you'll able to see what that there is one technique called as brute force. I'll try different combination and guess the password. So here, if this password is not changing, is a bug itself. Somebody can easily hack you. FTP. Anonymous FTP. Anonymous means what? There is no username and password on FTP. Means what? Without user and password, anybody can access your data, guys. So here, like this, you have many one of them. I am going to use one vulnerability called as Unicode vulnerability. This vulnerability, guys. Try to see the vulnerability here. Unicode vulnerability. When you scroll further below, when I select the vulnerability, it's showing you some detail here. So this is a detail available, guys. This is a CVE number, bug track number, guys. So make a note, guys. Whenever vulnerability is given, there are two numbers available, either CVE or bug track ID. CVE number or bug track ID, guys. So now I'm opening here my notepad. CVE bug track common vulnerability exposure, guys. Common vulnerability exposure, CV. CV stands for common vulnerability exposure. And bug track. This indicates what? It can give you detail about that vulnerability. What is this vulnerability? How somebody can exploit the vulnerability, guys. These all are the bugs, guys. So I've told you, bugs will be when the vulnerabilities will be there on the computer when you don't do the patchwork, guys. I'll be showing you slowly on the latest OS also. On your computer, bugs are there or not, we'll see that. But here we are giving one example that if there is a vulnerable server, how hacker finds it and how hacker hacks this server and how you need to resolve the issue. Our case is to resolve the issue. How you are going to resolve it, that also we are going to see here. So now, first important thing, guys. So I'm going to the third step now. So till now we did what, guys? Footprinting, and we did scanning. Now for vulnerability hacking, the most important step is exploiting. This is a third and the important step, guys. The third and the important step is exploiting. This is a main attack, guys. Hacker does these two things, but exploiting is to take a control of the computer now. Is whatever you found out information, you found out loopholes, you find out ports open. Now you're finding the loopholes, bugs. Now using that bug, how to take a control of it. Now for exploiting, I'll use one website, guys, called as securityfocus.com. I'm using one website called as securityfocus.com. Or you can directly click on that link also. It can go through from there. This is one website which gives you the bugs from all around. So there are many websites. So one is you can note down the website securityfocus.com, cvdetails.com. You can see here cvdetails.com. I'll tell you how to use this website. But for the time being, you can note down this CV details, security focus. Now, what I'll do is instead of searching individual thing here, I have one option, better option. What I do generally is I say directly security focus BID. BID is nothing but bug track ID, guys. And I give the number. Suppose I'm giving a number 1806. The vulnerability, what you have found out, guys, the number of that vulnerability, if you have seen there, it is showing you BID 1806. If you click on it, it will also open the same thing, guys. It is going to open the same page. If internet is available, it's going to open the Same page here. You can see here BID 1806. Okay. So now what I'll do now is I'll use this particular link to visit it. I'll say security focus. When you go to this page, it gives you detail about vulnerability, guys. It will give you detail about your vulnerability. What are the details, guys? Try to understand here. Bug track ID. This is the ID here. Now, currently, it is not showing some CVE number here. For this ID, there is no CVE here. Of course, the same vulnerability can be used multiple times, guys. So, this particular ID doesn't have a vulnerability number. Now, here, make an important note. Remote is yes, local is yes. Remote yes means what? Somebody can remotely take control of the vulnerability. Local means what? Physically means I need to log, means I should log in to the physical computer, means I should visit that computer, log in and take a control of it. So this is local exploitation, remote exploitation. Wherever you see remote is yes, more dangerous, guys. If the vulnerability is selecting remote equal to yes, is the most dangerous part which will be coming into picture. You will be very careful when you work with this vulnerability in that case. When this vulnerability was published, guys, is saying in 2000 the vulnerability was published. Okay. Now when you scroll further, you can see here what all operating systems are having problem. So now you're saying what this vulnerability is based upon one application called as IIS 5.0, guys. This is IIS 5.0, and all this OS are having the problem. So whoever is using IIS 5.0 and they are having service packs available here. Service packs means the patches have been installed. So they are having this vulnerability. So we may be checking on, maybe suppose you are checking this, you scan your Windows 7 machine or Windows 8 or Windows 10 machine. Now you find vulnerability in Windows 10, but it will also say that this is possible in Windows 7 also, Windows 8 also. So hacker get information that this problem in Microsoft is in which operating system is telling me. You can also see here, same concept is used where in Cisco also. Cisco also have some web servers we call as call manager. So there also this vulnerability is going to work here. So there's a big list of OS where my this software is installed on that OS. So with this operating system, with this application, you have the problem, guys. It's giving you a list of it. Okay. I'm coming to the second part, discussion, guys. In discussion, it is telling you what? Whenever somebody put double dot slash, my web server start misbehaving. The vulnerability, the bug is what? Whenever when you access the website, if somebody put multiple time double dot slash, and sometimes you replace this and this, you substitute slash with reverse slash multiple time, it will start misbehaving and it will give you full control of the web server, guys. This is one explanation of how this vulnerability going to work, guys. One more thing, guys, exploit. Can you see here? These are some codes given to you guys that using this code, somebody can take a control of your server. So can you see here? I was telling you dot double slash slash double slash double slash dot. Can you see here? I'm using this in my code. Generally, when you access a website, you're not going to type this thing. But these are the code using which somebody can, is a code via which my server will be misbehaving, guys. target is the IP address of your server, guys. So this, using this kind of code, I can take a control of that computer, guys. So this website tells you about what is the vulnerability, which operating systems this vulnerability exists, whether you can exploit it remotely, how it works. That is, discussion says how it works, exploiting the code for exploiting this particular vulnerability, guys. Code for exploiting the vulnerability is going to show you. So now what I'll do is I'll show you how to exploit the vulnerability, guys. I go to my computer. Now I'm opening my Internet Explorer. I'm typing the IP address, guys. This is my page, what you are getting, guys. This is my web page. Now, in your D drive, I had given some codes, guys. In your security assessment, exploit, the first one, web server vulnerability, guys. I've given the code here. I'm going to open it. You can see here the same steps are there. I told you bug track is this, security focus, you need to go here. Now, this vulnerability, what I need to do? The first thing, there are different codes are given, guys. The first code I'm going to take here. This is exactly, I've enhanced some code to show you something. I did some changes, guys. Try to understand what are the changes I did it here. This is my code available. So here in the IP address, you need to give the IP address of your server, guys. In our case is what, guys? 29.200. So here I'm going to use that IP 192.168.29.200. This will give me, can you see here? Dot slash double slash, the same thing. I got it from there. I'll take this and put here in my browser, guys. It is giving me C drive. What are the content of the C drive of that particular web server? Generally, remotely, I cannot see what are the contents of it. So I'm executing. My server start misbehave when you put dot, double dot slash or slash double slash. My server start misbehaving and I'm able to see directory of it. So this indicates what? Your vulnerability is working. This code indicates your vulnerability is exploitable, guys. Now, one more step. I'll go further. Here also I'll type in the second code also the IP address. Now what I'm going to do in second code, see, this is a step what hacker does it. Real time scenario, ethical hacker is not going to do this, guys. Ethical hacker is not going to do this step. But what exactly hacker does? See, I'm saying hacking is possible. So how? So I'm going to show you. So here in this case, what he's going to do is he will try to copy some file. Try to copy some file on that server. So here you can see that there is one mention here. Is giving you a copy command here. Is copying cmd.exe on C drive inventor.exe. Instead of inventor, I'm putting my name here, hack.exe. I'm changing call as hack.exe here. So now, already you have seen here, there is no hack.exe available here. Now, when I paste this particular code here, it's saying one file is copied. And again, try to browse your previous code, your script, and try to refresh it. When you refresh, can you see there hack.exe is available, guys, here? So I got hack.exe now, guys. When I refresh it, I was able to copy one file. You can give any name. You can give your name also there, guys. So sitting from my computer using a browser, hacker is copying some file on the server, guys. The last and the important step, guys. The last and the important step is what? Generally, most of the time, what the hacker does, any website when they hack, guys, they change the first page of it. The hacker always change the first page of the website. So here the third code is to change the page, guys. So here the third code we call as defacement. So I'm going to type the IP here, 29.200. This is the IP address of the server. Now here, what name you have given here, guys? You have used hack.exe. So instead of inventor, you use the name what you have given, guys. So I've used hack.exe. I'm going to say hack.exe here. And now I'm going to create one page. Suppose I say hack by students, Zoom students. I'm creating one page, guys. I'm trying to create one page here. So little bit of HTML knowledge, guys. I'm trying to create one page here. And this particular file, I'm going to store in C colon web. If you remember when we did vulnerability scanning, I told you that all the files of my web server are located where C colon web folder. So I'm going to put this file in there. And guys, whenever you host a website, what is the file name, guys? The source, Mr. Soil, the source is nothing but your cmd.exe. On the server itself, I copy cmd.exe. The server, there is a command exe is there. I'm copying it. So I'm copying this file as a name as what? Hack.exe. Is a command.exe which I am copying it. It's not, I'm not copied on any server. If I want, I can also copy from my computer to other computer also. But I'm only showing you very simple way what it can be done. So it is only command.exe which is being copied as hack.exe. Now, one important thing, guys, can you tell me, generally websites will have default page. What are the name of the pages, guys? Whenever you host any website, guys, so generally, no, not web.html, guys. Default name is index or default default name for most of the websites page. The first page of the website will be either index or default. The naming can be what? It can be .html, .html, or .as. Extension can be anything. This coding can be anything, guys. But by default, this is either they use default or they use index, guys. So you are given the home folder. C colon web is a home folder in which these are the files which have been available. So where you got that folder, when you do the vulnerability scanning, you got the folder name, guys. HTML is your code, guys. HTML, your web coding language, guys. It's a web coding language. The web page is developed in your this page. What has been developed? There is a coding is done for HTML, hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language is the language in which all the web pages have been working. What you see the web pages, they are called as HTML pages or HTML pages. But these are different codes in which these pages have been written, guys. So here, when you see the code, guys, I don't know what page it will be. I'm going to try here one by one default thing here. I'm going to take a code here. I'll try to put in this. I say C colon. You can see here C colon default.html. I'll try with default. Then I'll try to access my web server. Is it working? No, the page is not changed. So means what? I'm not using default, guys. I'll try to change it again. And instead of default, I'll type what, guys? Index.html. C colon web. And then okay. Here I'm saying C colon instead of default. I'll try to check index here. This is mostly, that's why I was telling you should have a basic knowledge of little bit on MCSC or CCNA, because this is going to help everywhere. So hacker has a knowledge, he tried to do it. And now if I check the website and I refresh here, can you see here? The page is being changed, guys. So in short, the web server was having which page, guys? Index.html. Default.html was not there, it was index.html. So that's why we are able to change it, guys. So using a browser, we are able to get inside the server and we are able to change the page here. And I'm using a very important note, guys. I'm using Internet Explorer. Firefox and Chrome, if you try to use it, it is not going to work. So which is a good browser? Firefox is good or Internet Explorer is good? Yes, guys. Which is a better browser? Firefox is more secure or Internet Explorer? Firefox. Internet Explorer allows you to inject something. It is allowing me to hack. If I try to use this same code on Firefox and same strings, using Firefox, I try to hack it, it will not allow me. But using Internet Explorer is allowing. So this highlights what? Internet Explorer, Edge are more vulnerable compared to another browser here. So this is one of the things why most of the guys don't use Internet Explorer for browsing, because there are many issues, many problem with this particular software, guys. Clear, guys? So I got inside a machine, a web server, and I'm able to breach your security. Now, one question: what we did is hacking or ethical hacking, guys? That's the first question. Yes, is it hacking or ethical hacking? It is hacking. Because I done what, guys? I changed the code, guys. I changed the code, guys, here. Technically, now this I did it only for the reason to show you that how hacking happens. So now our case, ethical hacker. What ethical hacker will do, guys? Ethical hacker will always go till the first step, guys. Only this step. This step, there was no harm. Only the first step in the three code is going to do it. The other two code, if I try to do something, this is done by the hackers, not by the ethical hackers, guys. So now you need to understand very clearly now some new terminology. Anything. I can also do delete also. I can do anything. If you have a access to the server, possible. But as we are discussing, guys, our focus is what, guys? I'm not going to change. See, try to understand, Mr. Krishna, what is the focus of this particular exercise? Whether the server is breached or not. So if a hacker breach the server, he cannot revert, he is not going to revert it back in that case. Who will revert it back? The admin. So admin has access to the server, he is going to replace it. In short, it has been done from the server side. This is the server, that web folder, you have to revert. You can see on the server there is a C drive here. Can you see hack.exe? Hacker is not going to delete it. He will remove it from here. There's a web folder, guys. Can you see index.html? So here you can see it has been changed. You need to replace with the original. They need to replace this file. That is, I have a backup file available here. I'll delete it. I'll rename this as what, guys? Index.html. That's all. Okay. So when I do this, the web server will be normal. It is the admin he needs to revert it, not the hacker. Hacker is not going to revert it back. So in that particular case, the reversion can be made possible in that case. Now, one very important thing, some important terminology, guys. So we have discussed port scanner and we have discussed vulnerability scanner also. The vulnerability scanner will give you details about your OS. But a very important part, guys. I'm going back. So something we have missed out on the day one. So that we are going to discuss now. You will see those wording now. So now comes a very important part, guys. What is ethical hacking? So we are finding out the bugs and we are testing that whether that bug can be exploited or not here. So that is referred as ethical hacking. So I've told you, you are going to use what, guys? Vulnerability scanner to do it. Before starting a particular checking or security auditing or ethical hacking job, I'd already told you what the agreement is to be made. NDA between the company and the ethical hacker. The ethical hacker means between two companies, there will be an NDA. That non-disclosure agreement means the person who finds, suppose a ethical hacker finds out some problem, he's only going to tell this problem to the company, not to other person, guys. That's why they call as non-disclosure agreement, guys. Here and checking this vulnerability scanning is done from where, guys? From internet as well as from inside the network also. We call as internal scanning, external scanning, guys. So the hacker will be sitting in the LAN and try to scan the same computer with the private IP, and he will be on the internet. From internet also he will do the scanning. So both of them, and this detailed report is being forwarded where? To the team, guys. So here you can see here the report what was generated here. This is a report, guys. This report I need to save it. So here you have an option of saving the. In this it is not there. I think okay reports, but it will say it's a trial version. You cannot save it. This all details are there. I say save. Can you see here? Evaluation version report is not been allowed. But when you save it, the same options will be put in a PDF file or Word file or HTML file and given to you in that. If you want, you can save the whatever you have done. You can save this particular option. The scanning option you can save here. I say web server. I want to check it back. I can save like your file, but I cannot save it as a report here. So now, important part, guys. Very important terminology in real time scenario. Whenever somebody use a word vulnerability auditing. So now this is when you are working in real time scenario. If somebody say try to do VA of the server. VA means what? You are going to only do up to the first two steps. You'll find out footprinting and then you'll use vulnerability scanner to find out the report. The step is only this, guys. Till here, you'll do the, you give the IP and find out the vulnerability. This report, when you give it, is called as vulnerability auditing. Based upon the report, the admin of that company will find out this individual problems. He will go through individual problem and he will resolve it. Can you see here one option, guys? How to fix. There's an option how to fix, and there is a patch given. He'll install those patches and resolve the issue. So when you give a report, the security admin is going to install the patches and resolve the issue, guys. That is a job of what, guys? Patching of your vulnerability, guys. So here is allows the organization to avoid attacks. But there is another word called as PT, penetration testing, guys. Penetration testing is what? After finding the vulnerability, whether that vulnerability is working or not. If you remember, when I found out the vulnerability, what I did, guys, I tried to check using the code here. I try to use this code, the first code. So if this code works, Means vulnerability is working. If this code is not working, it is not working. So I'm trying to test like a hacker. This is called as what? Penetration testing, guys. I'm testing like a hacker, but not damaging way, guys. The second and third step is done always by the hacker. Penetration tester will only do the first step. He will not go, he's not going to harm anything dangerously, guys. So here I've shown you three codes only to give you a clear understanding what is the difference between ethical hacker and hacker. Ethical hacker will only go up to this. Hacker may go to the second and third step also, guys. So when I do this, it is referred as what? Penetration testing, guys. So now you got a very clear idea, guys. What is the difference between VA and PT? So VA is only to find out the bugs. You're not going to check whether that bug is working or not. Somebody can hack you or not. With PT, you are going to check what your bug is exploitable or not. So real time scenario, whenever somebody say VAPT, means he's talking about what? Both the things, not a single thing. Clear all of you? What is the difference now? Suprita, Sohel, Siddharth, are you clear with this? So software is same, but our case we are not going to go beyond this, guys. So any vulnerability scanner is going to do the same job, guys. I'll show you now one shortcut. The latest, I have another software for vulnerability scanner which gives you some more detail. I'm closing this now. I'm closing the software here. I'm using another software called as Shadow, guys. Shadow Security Scanner. So there are many softwares. I'll give you a list of it. So this Shadow Security Scanner I'm going to install. I'll do the same thing there, but the output, this is the latest one with the latest updates also. So it will show me much more detail compared to the previous one, guys. So this software updates vulnerability regularly, guys. It's updating now. It's connecting to internet, downloading the content. Here also you have an option called as start scan or new session. I said new session. It's giving me option here. What type of scanning? Complete scan, full scan. What scanning you want to do? You can select it. Here you can take any one of them. I'm taking full scan here. It's going to check 65,000 port, guys. Here you can add the IP addresses one by one or a range. So I'm adding one IP here. 29.200. This is my vulnerable IP. I am giving private IP. Real time, it can be private or public IP address of the machine or a device. Now, when I click here and say start, guys. So now it will do the scanning here. Same way how it is done before, it will do. But full scanning, guys, is going to check 65,000 port. It's going to take a longer time here. Every port is going to take. If you remember when we did port scanner, we selected what? Selected ports. So it was much faster. Here you can see a port scanning is going to take a time here. One by one is checking all the ports here. So now I will also show in the meanwhile this scanning happens. I'll try to show you one more vulnerability which can be there on a desktop computer or it can be a device also. So what I'll do now is I'll take one very simple example here. So this IP is a server IP, guys. You can put any device IP also, router IP, your switch IP, maybe firewall IP, your CCTV camera IP, and you can do the scanning. Scanning means what? Is going to scan all the problems of that particular IP, irrespective of the OS, guys. Irrespective of the OS, it will be made possible in that. So here is doing the scanning here. So now, the next question. I'll show you the example of that router. You should know the IP address of the AWS servers. See, when you're putting the servers on the cloud will have a public IP. Without public IP, nobody is going to access it. So you need to use it to work with it. So real-time scenario, public IPs are required to work with it. So if I have any IP, concept is same. You are going to work with the scanning in that. Any cloud servers can also be scanned. It will be working. I've told you that what is the first condition? The first condition for scanner is what? You need to, because I am going to test my own security. So Microsoft has given one server, you are going to test it. The first thing is what? You need to have an agreement. Means suppose if it's my server, I can directly do it, not a problem. But if it is some other person's server, I need to have a permission to work with. Here it's going to take a longer time, guys. So I'll leave it here. We'll come back when we come to the second part in that. Scanning is going on. Okay. So here you can make a note of some of the softwares, guys. We did food printing. We completed scanner. So now you can scan your home routers also, guys. I'll show you. You can scan your own computers also. There are some computers in your LAN. You can scan them to find out what are the problems. Are there any patches missing? If it's a Windows machine, are the patches are missing? I'll show you that. How to test whether your computer, your laptop, what you're using is not vulnerable. I'll show you that. But this is a context. We are talking about the organization point of view, how it happens. So this was your vulnerability scanning, guys. You can make a note, guys. Shadow, Nessus, Retina, GFI LandGuard. This four are very important software, guys. Retina, Shadow, Nessus, GFI LandGuard. Your Shadow, we call as SSS, Retina, GFI LandGuard. These are generally Windows software, guys. They are installed on a Windows machine, guys. Nessus, traditionally it was Linux based vulnerability scanner. Linux based. It's a Linux based, it is available. Burp suite is different, Mr. Samar. I'll tell you what is that. When you take about this is a vulnerability scanner which will be used for this purpose, guys. The job of vulnerability scanner is what? You're finding out bugs in application, means IIS, operating system, misconfiguration. This is what you're going to find out with it. Nowadays, Nessus is also available in Windows, guys. This is also available in Windows. Previously, it was only available in Linux. Now it is available on Windows also. So Windows tool are easy to use. So now, older time, what we used to do, what this software is doing, guys, Retina, Shadow, Nessus, hacker used to try manually each and every code. This code, now the software is doing it. So now you understood, I was telling that there is no programming knowledge required. So now when I show you that Shadow security output, you will see that everything is directly given to you in the latest version. Once we complete with that Shadow output here, scanning all the ports. Once all the ports are completed, you will see that when it gives you a vulnerability, in the vulnerability also it will show you how to exploit also. All the codes to exploit the vulnerability will be displayed to you directly. So it will show you penetration testing is possible or the last two, Equentis, Nexpose, Verb Suite, OWSP, all of them, they come into the category of the fourth scanner called as application scanner. Generally, web application scanner. More specific, web application scanner. Equentis, Expose, and other thing, they come into category of web application scanner. Web application, guys. Any application which is running on the web pages is called as web applications. So nowadays, when you go to any website, they ask you to fill up the form. When you go everywhere, they are using web applications to work with it. Means when you go for, they are the programs, they are the softwares. So you go to suppose a laboratory, so they type all the details and they access it. They fill up all the registration, everything via web application. So that application, if there is some coding problem, web coding, if they have not done properly the coding, if a new person is developing it, then the problems will be there. If already the person who is expert in this is building, then the problems will not be there. So Equentis, Nexpose, Burpsuit, OWSP vulnerabilities, they are related to web. This we are going to see later on in the sessions when we talk about approximate. When we come to the ending of the sessions, we'll be talking about how exactly this will be working. The focus should be first on this one. Now I'll show you one more vulnerability, guys, today, which will be on a computer vulnerability. Means a victim. Currently, I've shown you how somebody can hack a server. Now, if it is a client computer, suppose it is my computer here. Suppose you are using Windows 7. This is my computer. Now, in my computer, what vulnerability can be there? I want to, means instead of hacking on the server, somebody can hack a user also. Means whenever you access some website, hacker can hack your computer. You only access a website, hacker can hack it. So for that, some vulnerability is there. You can go and make a note of it here. So here, you search. I given you already, Mr. Narsapuram. You search on internet the license key, you'll directly get it. Search for VMware license key on Google, you'll get it. So now the important part. So I'm going to Google Docs. Search for Google Docs. Yes, what we have seen yesterday, Google hacking. In Google hacking database, guys. Sorry, exploit.db. You can note down another website, exploit.db also. This has the vulnerabilities available. Exploit.db, exploit-db. Now this website, if you see on the screen, guys, can you see here the latest date, guys? Today's date. For today's date, these are the new vulnerabilities they have found out, guys. There are different vulnerabilities available. How many total here you can see on the back here? Around, it has a database of around 42,000 vulnerabilities, guys. And this is irrespective to a product, guys. It can be with Internet Explorer, it can be different services, different application, iOS, a web server, mail server, mixture of everything. You can see the vulnerabilities. So I'm going to go for one specific vulnerability, guys. When you go to this website, you search for something called as Internet Explorer. Search for Internet Explorer. So now it is only showing me vulnerabilities for Internet Explorer. How many, guys? You can see here it is showing around 450 vulnerabilities are there for Internet Explorer, guys. Here. So now in this, you need to find out the vulnerability related to Internet Explorer, guys. So I need to see here. Can you note down this code number date, guys? You can note down this date 21/05/2018. If I have this particular, there are many vulnerabilities. I am going to try this one, guys. This vulnerability It is available where, guys? You can see here when you click on this Internet Explorer 11 or below. If you have Internet Explorer 11 or below, this vulnerability is going to work. Can you see the CV number, guys? Is the CV number available, guys? And this vulnerability is a local. Local means what? It should be executed on that computer itself. Remotely, somebody cannot do it. It should be done from the computer. So what is the code here? Here, the problem with this is what? VB script. It allows some code to be run on your computer, guys. So here, when you see below here, there is one HTML code is available. The HTML page is there. So this is a code available, guys. This is a code available. So I will say I need to copy this, guys. You need to copy this whole code, put it in your browser, means on the machine. Suppose I'll put it in one notepad. Whatever I copy it, this is one code I'm saving on my some file here. Test.html. I'm saving on my desktop. Real time scenario. A hacker will take this code and he will put on his web server. Hacker will put it on his web server now, and he will send the link to you. The moment you click on the link, this code will be running on your computer. Now, in this code, it is written what, guys? It can open any software on your computer, guys. It can run something on your computer. It can execute something on your computer. So in this code, it's a testing code, guys, a POC, proof of concept that the vulnerability is working. So here, what would happen when you open this particular page? Automatically, it will open calculator on your window, means your machine on your computer. But it will work when? Only on Internet Explorer. So I'm opening this page in Internet Explorer, guys. You can see here. When I open, it's given some message here. Many times you get this message. I say allow. The moment I say yes, it's running. Some code is running. These are the messages that code is running, guys. You can see your calculator is not on, but I'm continuing it out here. The moment I complete the script, it will open my calculator, guys. You can see here, calculator came up, guys. The calculator is open. So if somebody remotely can open some calculator on my computer, can he open another files also, guys? Is it possible? If you can open a calculator, can he delete something? Can he execute something? Possible. So real time, see here, we are not going to put this on a server. Real time, the hacker is going to put on the server. He'll only send you the link. You click on the link, it is going to execute on your computer, guys. So this is possible. Why? See, if I open this link in Firefox, nothing will happen. Suppose now if I open in Firefox, you can see it is blank. Firefox is blocking it because this vulnerability is where in your Internet Explorer. So via Internet Explorer only is going to hack you. So hacker can send you a link, but if you open in Firefox or Chrome or other browser, it's not going to work. It's only going to work when you're working with your Internet Explorer, and that too, the version I told you, version 11 and below. So the VM machine, what I had given you, doesn't have a latest Internet Explorer, guys. So it needs to be installed. Now the question, somebody will say, I've shown you two ways of somebody can hack your web server, somebody can hack your Internet Explorer, the client PC also. How to resolve the issue? The simple thing, patches. Install patches. Install the latest software on your computer, whether it is your web server, whether it is your Internet Explorer. Install the latest software. Once these latest softwares are installed, your problem will be resolved, guys. So this is how somebody can do it. One more thing. Somebody say, I want to find out what are the other vulnerabilities available. You can see on CVE details, guys.
When you go to CV details, if you go to this website, daily vulnerability by dates, vulnerability by vendor. So suppose in your organization, guys, suppose you are using Cisco ASA firewall. If I go here and say Cisco vendor, you can go to Cisco here. You can search. If you know the number, you can do it. Otherwise, you can search one by one. Product buys. And see here. Can you see hardware application? These are different vendors are available. What I'll try to do now, 1 second. Cisco ASA. This is a firewall, guys. Can you see here how many vulnerabilities of Cisco ASA are available, guys? Here. These are different vulnerabilities of Cisco ASA, guys. You search Firefox. If you click on the vulnerability, it will show you detail about it. See, this is a vulnerability, security vulnerability. When it has been released, guys. These are the older vulnerabilities. It's 2014. Local or remote, guys. You can see here, local or remote. Most of them are remotely exploitable, means it's dangerous in that. You can search here Linux. These are the vulnerabilities. So if I say Linux vulnerabilities, guys, can you see here the Linux vulnerabilities also? These are the numbers here. It can bypass it. Now complexity is low. If it is a high risk, if this number is very higher, it will be a dangerous thing. So here, every day, how many vulnerabilities are getting released, guys? This is a summary. You should regularly, whatever softwares you are using in your organization, maybe Internet Explorer, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 2000 server, maybe mail servers, Exchange server, whatever products you are using, regularly you need to check on the internet. Are there any new vulnerabilities coming? If they are coming, you need to find the solution, patch for it, install on your machine. If you don't patch it, it will be hackable then. So your main part, if you remember, I told you on day one, somebody can only hack you when there is a vulnerability on your computer. Then when there is a vulnerability on your computer, you can be hacked, guys. If there is no vulnerability, nobody can hack. Now the last question, your computer, now your main computer from where you may be accessing it, whether it is vulnerable or not. You can use shadow security scanner to do it. I'll check now whether that shadow is completed or not. Still going on. Can you see here 82%? Because it is checking all the ports. Once this port scanning is completed, then only I am going to show you other thing. I'm going to show you till that time what, how to check your latest. You're using Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. How to check the vulnerability on that? So here you can use one software called as Playback. Playback Advisor, guys. There is one software called as Playback. This is for the personal use, guys. Generally, you can use for organization, but it will not be feasible. Why? Because this software is to be manually installed on every computer, guys. So Bellac, this software is there. You need to download it. I'm downloading a free copy here. Okay. You need to register to download it. Now, once the application has been downloaded, guys, to install it. I'm installing on my main computer, not on the outside, because I want to show you the latest vulnerabilities of Windows 7. this I can use in real time scenario, guys. I also prefer this software to check it. So when I run this software, first thing what is doing, guys, is going to update the database, guys. You can see here the last update was 24/4, and currently it is what, guys? May 5/5. So it will update, it will connect to the server and find out that after 24/4, is there any new vulnerabilities have come up? If it is there, it will update the latest database of vulnerabilities. And now it is going to run it. It's now generating the report, guys. Once the report is being generated, it will tell you that you are using Windows 7, but how many patches are missing on your computer? Means whether all patches are installed or something is missing. See, Microsoft has released 100 patches, but you had installed only 90 patches. 10 patches are missing. So those 10 patches are the vulnerabilities using which somebody can hack you in that. So this software, generally this cannot be used for commercial purpose, because there is an agreement when you use the download the free button. It clearly says that you should not use in the organization. You should only use for personal computer and desktop, guys. Personal computer and desktop. So it is running here. You can see here. It's checking all my computer. It is also doing a kind of vulnerability scanning now. It's checking on my network. What are the computers available? I don't want the network scanning, guys. So I'm skipping this step. But you can continue it. It can check the devices which are connected and show you the report. So now it is showing me the report, guys. Now, luckily, you are seeing one of them. So first thing here is saying virus protection is up to date. It's checking antivirus is installed and its updates are happening properly. And here you can see here. Can you see here? On my computer also it is showing one patch is missing, guys. It gives me total history of my computer, guys. It's telling me Windows 10 is installed, what is the version, UFE is working or not. You also have the serial number of my laptops. Okay. It's giving you hardware and software inventory, guys. Instead of somebody say what software you are using, what is your hardware configuration. When I run it, I will get to know. You can see the memory, hardware, RAM, number of hard disks, what are the usernames available, what printers I've used it. Currently, I'm not connected to my network, otherwise, network drive will be there. When you scroll further, can you see which antivirus software you are using and what is the latest update? So here you can see latestly it has been updated here. When you did the last scanning, also how many NIC cards are available. It is displaying you the number of NIC cards also here. Now, when you scroll further, what USB drives you connected in last 30 days, guys? It gives you the history with their serial number. So this report can be a very good report. Sometimes in the organization you are not allowed USB and somebody is using it, then you can get to know in that. Yes, whatever. See, it will check all the things whether those patches which are available are missing or not from the OS. Generally, I say Windows 10 has maybe 100 patches. It will check from first to 100 all the patches are available or not. So if something is missing, it will immediately tell you it has been missing. Here is showing me clearly that I also have VM machines also available here. This part you didn't get it. Can you see which patch is missing here? It's showing me Microsoft Windows Update. One particular patch has been missing here. It can also show you here Java. So it is not only Windows patches, it will also show you Java, Oracle, Apple. It can check all security patches for this particular software. Any patch is missing, it will tell you to install it. It is also showing you softwares, what you have it, and what are the license key of that software it is going to give you, guys. Give me the license key of the softwares also here. And these are the softwares. We'll use this information for something else when we go further discussion. These are the different softwares installed on your computer. Every detail. And these are the installed patches within last 90 days. These are the patches you have installed. So last 3 months, what are the patches you have installed? They have been displayed. You can click on it, it will show you detailed report about it also. So this software you can use on your computer to find out is there any patches are missing. If patches is missing means what? Your computer is vulnerable, it can be hackable. And clearly you can see there is a advice given before. It is only for personal home use only, not for the organization. But of course, you can check it. After checking, you can remove it also possible. That is there. But the licensing agreement says what? It is only for the personal use. So this is how, guys, somebody can easily find vulnerabilities on your computer. We'll see whether the report got completed or not. Yes, at last something is being completed now. Can you see now? It's checking all these scripts. These are different codes which are trying to check the vulnerabilities are there, guys. Can you see here? IIS vulnerabilities. Once we need to allow it to complete it, you'll be able to see more detail. Can you see for everything there is a bug track ID, guys? CVE ID. How to fix. It will show you the Microsoft website from where you can do the fixing job, guys. Here it is showing me my UDP ports which have been open also. Now, this is what I was supposed to tell you. The whole exercise I did it for this purpose. Can you see, guys, here in this one? This is the same Unicode vulnerability, guys. But can you see here the links are given to you here? If I directly click on the link, it can show you what, guys? Penetration testing, guys. Can you see here? I don't have to search it. I don't have to find it. It's giving me the script also. Check this script whether using this it is hackable or not. It is giving you all the scripts here. Check. It is only that if first code doesn't work, try to check the second code. It's not harmful. It's not dangerous, guys. Now this code, can you see here? ERIC colon web folder. This is a web folder. You can see the details. So Shadow has some latest version of scripts which you can use it. So when you update your vulnerability scanner, you use the latest vulnerability scanner, it will be much easier job to work with it. These are the bug track ID which will be available. So here, I think that security focus website is not opening here. But you can try here. It will tell you this vulnerability details there. In this particular browser, it is not opening maybe. I'll check. Because this is a very old browser. Intentionally, I put an old browser because then only I can show you vulnerability is there. Otherwise, I cannot show you vulnerability will not be available. Can you see here? This is a vulnerability, guys. This is a discussion, and this is a exploit, guys. These are the different codes available to do it also. There are different codes available to work with. So this is how somebody can breach your security and get inside your computer, guys. Now, the last thing, what I'll try to make it possible, guys. I'll check maybe today or tomorrow if it is possible. If I'll check here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop my shadow here. It's taking full time here. I'll try to see. Generally, I have a router in my office, which is a vulnerable router. As I'm doing here, I'll try to show you maybe if possible. I'll try to create a vulnerable router on my computer here and show you that router also has vulnerability. I've shown you earlier Cisco routers can be hackable. We'll try to see that if possible. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one application. This application you will receive separately, guys. The application name is GNS. This I'll share you separately. So in my GNS, Real time, you don't have to do this setup, guys. This is only to show you that router is hackable. Router also has a device, also has a problem. I'm going to discuss here. I'll see here maybe my vulnerability of the router, guys. I got my router here. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. So now maybe I'll show you tomorrow only. Today I think it is not there. Tomorrow only I'll show you. So tomorrow I'll show you what a Cisco router, if it has a vulnerability, how somebody can hack the vulnerability. Means it can be a configuration mistake, it can be operating system problem. Using that, how somebody can hack a Cisco device also. We'll try to see it tomorrow in that case. And I'll show you the setup also, how to do the installation of Cisco router on your computer. So for today's setup, guys, for your lab, what you need to do, guys, in your VMware machine, the vulnerable server should be VMnet 0, guys. I've shown you VMnet 0. Your vulnerable machine should be VMnet 0. At the same time, your CyberSec machine also should be VMnet 0, guys. So technically, the software is same, guys. You need to install it, and when you do it, suppose if you have some LAN computers in your LAN, you can use it to work with it. You have CyberSec or secure. You need to try those passwords, either CyberSec or secure. These are the both of them will be working. Mr. Narsapuram, already I told you guys, you need to search on the day one itself. I shown you how to go with the license, guys. So here I clearly shown that VMware workstation license key. Directly Google is giving you. All the list is available, guys. Try it out one of them and to use it. Okay. So this is the details using which it can be possible. So you need to install VMware, use it. Minimum 4 GB of RAM is required, guys. You should not go below than that. If you have higher than that, it's not a problem. If it's lesser than that, then suggested don't use Windows 7 machine. I'd given a separate VM called as Windows XP. If you're lesser than 2 GB, that means if it is lesser than 4 GB, then use Windows XP to do the lab in that case. In that. Yes, you have to download all the VM files. The drive, I had given you VMware folder, all the files you need to download. Mr. Sai Kumar. So now we have done it. Now, in our discussion, one step ahead, guys, we are going to discuss today a little bit of idea, something called as proxy, guys. We are going to discuss something called as proxy today. We'll start a little bit of discussion. Tomorrow we are going to continue more on it. Now, proxy. Now, try to understand whenever a hacker tries to do this all stuff on some server, some public IP, will there be any traces of the hacker, guys? Yes or no? On the server side, on the router side, whenever he tries to hack it, will there be any traces? Yes. Yes, of course. So that is a security, guys. On security point of view, we need to work on what, guys? When we go to the second module, our major aim is what? Nobody should hack us. Now, if somebody does a hacking, we should get a track. So generally, they work with something called as logs. Servers, routers, firewall, devices, everywhere logs are available, guys. So whenever anybody try to attempt port scanning or vulnerability scanning on the server, the alarm, the firewall, IPS, the devices will raise an alarm what? That somebody is trying to hack you in that. A simple example. What is a burglar alarm, guys? Many houses puts a robber alarms. That is the alarm. Many guys on the car, on the bike, and the car also they put alarms. Whenever somebody touches or try to open their car or something, immediately started giving a noise. The same way here also, whenever you have a servers, you have some devices called as intrusion prevention system. Whenever anybody does vulnerability scanning or port scanning, it can detect and immediately inform the admin that somebody is trying to breach the security. So first challenge for the hacker is what? He want to hack the server, but he doesn't want to get tracked, guys. Because whenever you access anything over the internet, your public IP is going, guys. Suppose if I access yahoo.com, hotmail.com. So currently my IP address is this, guys. What is my IP.com if you check? Or my WAN IP. What is my IP or what is my WAN IP address? mywanip.com. When you access this particular website, you'll able to see your public IP address, guys. Can you see here? So hacker also tries to attack somebody. He try to execute some script, some code on any computer or device. His IP address will also go there. So for that reason, hacker does what? He wants to hide his IP address. So hacker wants to hide the IP address first. So how is going to hide the IP? That is what we are going to discuss today here. Of course, from security point of view, what a security admin will do, we'll discuss again that thing later. So now, when I say there is one concept called as proxy, guys. Most of the guys are using proxies, but what you are using and what is the other purpose, we are going to different. The hacker use for some different purpose. What you are using for is for different purpose, guys. So proxy, guys. So you have some servers available, guys. So now try to understand this is your LAN network, guys. This is your LAN network. You are connected to internet, guys. So now, by default, what is a proxy server? I'll tell you a normal terminology. What is your proxy? How it works and how hacker uses it. We'll discuss later on in that case. So normal concept of proxy, guys. By default, suppose you take an example of your computer. Your computer IP address is 192.168.1.10. This IP address is 192.168.1.20. These are the LAN IPs. There is a switch available, guys. There is a router 1.1, then connected to internet, guys. You're connected to internet. So these computers are connected like this to the switch or a Wi-Fi access point or a router. Router IP is 1.1, and then it goes to internet. This is your internet, which is being now by default. Currently, if a user want to access internet, guys, how it works, guys? How user access internet? What is the way somebody can access internet, guys? You learn in your CCNA. What is required to access internet? Yes, default gateway, correct, Sohail. So here, every request by default, whenever you type www.yahoo.com, the request goes to your default gateway. And via default gateway, you access your internet, guys. So for accessing Yahoo, Hotmail, Rediff, anything over internet, HTTP, FTP, of course, protocols are there. But technically, what is the way of accessing? What is the path of accessing? Always your computer will check the default gateway IP, which is your router IP or firewall IP. It will contact it and then it will reach internet. So whenever I'm going like this website, Yahoo or Hotmail or Rediff can see my public IP address. They can see my public IP address here. So now what we used to do with a proxy was try to understand in organizations, proxy servers were used in organizations earlier, guys. I'm not talking about hackers' point of view. Organization, they are created for good purpose. This was my proxy server, which is there in my organization. When I install it, it will be there on my computer. Means in my LAN, I'd install one server called as proxy server. Now try to understand older times. If I have 100 computers, I'm talking about 10, 15 years back. Internet bandwidth, I only have 1 MB internet bandwidth and 100 computers are accessing it. So whenever 100 computer access my 1 MB internet bandwidth, guys, how much they are going to get at a time if they are accessing 10 KB, guys? Is 10 KB? So now 10 KB, what you are going to open it? It will be very difficult to open the web pages. So for that reason, to improve the performance for my users with a lesser bandwidth, they used to install proxy server. Now, proxy server, what happens, guys? My request, I'll install one software on my computer, a separate computer, and call it as a proxy server. Every computer browser, on every browser, I'll give my proxy server IP address. Suppose my IP of my proxy server is 1.200, suppose. So I'll give this IP address of my proxy server here. So now when this computer access yahoo.com or Rediff or Hotmail, what would happen is first my request goes to proxy. Proxy on behalf of this user, he will send the request to internet, guys. So proxy server, all computer you need to configure browser settings with the proxy server IP address. So they'll go to proxy and via proxy, they'll access internet. The advantage here is what? Whenever, suppose first guy access Yahoo, so request will come here, go to internet, get the page here, forward it. Proxy server has an advantage of something called as cache. Cache. Cache is nothing but your when you access a website on your computer for the first time, it is taking a longer time. The same website you access again, it will open much faster. Why? Because some of the content is downloaded on your computer. So next time when you access, is not downloading that content, it is using the existing content. So cache is nothing but which is being stored here. So now, first time somebody access Yahoo, the whole Yahoo page is available here. So second time, if this another guy access Yahoo, the request will go to proxy. Proxy will directly give the page back, guys. It will not go to internet. It is going to save everything in the memory. Your cache is a memory, of course. Is a hard disk space where the files, the regular usage files are being stored, guys. So proxy servers store different type of pages. So first time, always the first page request goes to internet. The same website or same pages are accessed by other person. The proxy server will directly give, it will never go to internet. So this was a main usage of a proxy server, real time, good usage of proxy server in that case. This was a good usage, main usage of proxy. Now the word came proxy. Why we call it as a proxy, guys? Try to understand. on behalf of my LAN computers. Who is accessing internet, guys? My proxy. So proxy is giving, he is requesting internet, Yahoo, Hotmail, Facebook, Gmail on behalf of my users. So that's why it is called as proxy. For your simple understanding, guys, in colleges, on behalf of your friends, you are given a attendance. That's the example of a proxy, guys. That's a very simple example that your friend is not there. On behalf of him, you are saying he is there. So that is the example of a proxy, guys. So this is a job. What is a good job of proxy, guys? Now, proxy, internet will always see what, guys, who is accessing Yahoo, Hotmail, Rediff. All requests are coming from where 1.200 only. They don't see original IP address because on behalf of all of them, only this guy is sending the request. So technically, it is hiding all my IP address. This was a good usage which was working in real time scenario. So older times, everybody was working like this. But now there is a difference, guys. The difference is the same proxy server now are available over internet, guys. The usage is different. Nowadays, you have a lot of bandwidth available, not a problem. So now hackers will do what, guys? They connect to the proxy server and then they will be attacking. If I have some server here and I'm attacking a server, I'll not attack using my IP. I use a proxy and attack the server. So my original IP is hidden because I'm going to use a proxy server IP, not my original IP address. So proxy servers are used for hiding your IP detail, guys. So indirectly, I'm changing my IP address, guys. Whatever my current public IP is there, I can change to other IP address, guys. That is a use of proxy, guys. So main intention, hacker does what? You want to change the IP address. So here you can go through your D drive. In the D drive, you have one concept called as anonymizer, in which you can go for proxy. You have a proxy server list, guys. You can search on internet some of the website proxy server lists. I'll show you how the proxy will work. How many of you are using proxy, guys? Most of the guys will be using it. How many of you using proxy, guys? Yes. Okay, Mr. Siddharth is using. Now, not only that, only one person. Mantamir will also using it. Okay. Try to understand one important thing. One question. I'm not confirming anything, Mr. Soil, till now. That's why you need to listen because we are understanding how it works. Then you will get to know. Now, one question, why somebody is giving you this service for free? Why they are giving this proxy service for free, guys? That you need to understand first. Yes. What is the motive? Why somebody say that use my IP and attack somebody or use my IP and access something? Why they give it? Yes. What could be the reason? Internet. A very important thing, guys. If somebody is giving, nothing is free on the internet, guys. If somebody says they are giving free proxy server, you are being monitored, you are being tracked, guys. Never ever use proxy server. So what I'm going to show you first today is, I'm not going to show you what the hacker is going to do first. First, I need to show you what is a proxy server, how it works. So when you use a proxy, what exactly will happen? We need to understand it. Try to see here. You can use one software. You can search on internet. CC proxy, guys. This is a proxy server software. You understand how the proxy is working. When you use this proxy, you download it I think 8 MB software will be there, 5 MB software. You download this software, install on one of your machine, guys. So install on your. So you're making what, guys? You're making proxy server, guys. You're making this machine as a proxy server, guys. I'll install it. You can see here. I'm making my machine as a proxy server. So this is my CC proxy, which is acting as my proxy server, guys. In the option, you can see here, this is my IP address of my server, guys. This is my IP address of my server. And this is a port. I told you every server, any person who offers services, guys, any person who offers services will have what, guys? Port numbers. So here you can see there is a port number available. 808 is a port number available here. So now I'll show one thing here. My port number is available. Okay. And that's all. I need to start it. That's all. So now what I need to do now is on the client computer, guys, I need to give this computer IP address. You can take your main computer, assign this IP address in the browser to verify it. Suppose you can go to Internet Explorer, guys. In your Internet Explorer, I'm using Internet. You can use Firefox also, guys. You can go to Internet Explorer, options, Internet options, guys. Here you can see connection. This is the settings you need to do on the client computer, guys. You're going to go with the connections, guys. Here, LAN settings. Here you need to give your server IP address, guys. 29.29. And what was the port number? 808, guys. When you do this, and then you start browsing internet, guys. Start browsing internet. After that, if everything is okay, then you can see Rediff is opening, guys. But at the same time, can you see here on the proxy server is showing you what? Who is the IP? What he is accessing? Can he see all your data, guys? Is he monitoring every traffic of you? And suppose you do transaction, your net banking, your username and password. So when we go in further discussion, how your passwords can be hacked. If he is able to see this information, he can capture many more details also, guys. So he can get all your details from everything, showing the computer IP from where, what you have access. All details it is showing you here. So indirectly, it is monitoring all my details. And he can also manipulate the detail also. Manipulation of detail is also possible, guys. So this is how your normal proxy will be working, guys. This is how the proxy server will be working. So never you are using proxy for accessing some website which are not been allowed to use it to bypass it. You use it, but using that proxy when we discuss further tomorrow, you will get to know that proxy also has a log, guys. There's a log, guys. So they also keep a log who is accessing what. So indirectly, if somebody approach a proxy server and say who has access this time, they'll give you that this IP has access this particular website. So you're not anonymous, guys. When you're working with proxy, you are not anonymous. Many guys assume you are anonymous, but technically no. Hackers already know this, so they never use proxy server, guys. They will be using something called as Tor browsers that we are going to discuss in your tomorrow sessions here. We'll be discussing Tor, that how exactly you are going to work on. That is the whole session we are going to discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about proxy, and I'll be showing you router hacking also. So I've showed you different ways by which vulnerabilities, by which it can be hacked. So we'll discuss tomorrow also how your router can be hacked and how your proxy server will be working there. And if we got some time, we'll start with password hacking also, guys. So tomorrow onwards, so now you got a very clear idea that how somebody can hack you. So of course, you will get much more detail when you see tomorrow session also. More vulnerabilities will come up. The moment vulnerabilities will come up, we'll be working it. Yes, today we completed with our today's session, Mr. Muntahir. So this is what we have been learning. So you need to practice on your options, guys. And already I had given you the detail. Material link is this, guys. Many guys have registered in some separate link. If you register on this link only, you'll be getting the VMs and other details, guys. So make sure you register in the correct link for the material, not on a different link in that case. Second mail recording is not available, guys, because already we have requested WebEx. It is an issue from that side. So they are not sending this. Once they forward this, they will be giving you in that case. Okay. So based upon that, it will be possible. Mr. Manish, you have registered in the wrong link. This is not the link where you should have been registered. Try to register on the correct link, you will be receiving it. You register for the demo recording link, you should register for the material link. You enter the details there, then only you'll receive it. Okay. So now, if any queries or questions are there, that I already Lavanya sent it. That's why I forwarded to you, Mr. Okay. So you register on this link, you will be part of everything. If you don't register, you are not going to receive the Telegram group and other things, guys. Make sure. Okay. So now, totally depends, Mr. Sai Kumar. It may most probably, generally, I say approximate 8 to 10 days. So approximate, I'm doubting maybe on 11th, most probably by 11th or 12th, you should be completing. Suggestion is most probably on 11th, but maybe it may go up to 12. It depends upon the session. I'm not restricting myself. It can be one day extra also, it is not a problem. But around 10th, 11th, we are going to complete with your first module. Okay, we'll be discussing Wi-Fi hacking, mobile hacking. First, base should be strong. So this is your base. If this is strong, it will be much easier for you to work with other things, guys. Okay. So here I'm ending your today's session, guys. Tomorrow we'll be talking about your router hacking as well as your other things. Mr. Pavan, you need to install Telegram first and then you join the link. You only click the link, open on your mobile phone, click the link, it should join Telegram directly. You don't have to do anything. But Telegram is not installed, then it is not going to work. First install Telegram and click on the link, it will be automatically you'll join it. Okay. So have a nice day, guys. See you tomorrow.